Thor here. So today we're gonna go through the cut. Gonna talk about different aspects of the cut right now, how it's going, have some fun with that. In addition to that, why bother doing anything the normal way? Normally you go from Wahweap into Warm Creek, but no, we're gonna go around the long way because why bother doing anything normal? We like to do everything just the hard way because. For this episode, my friend Rory volunteered to help out, and we would be using his boat since my old tired boat is down and out for repairs and maintenance. Suffice to say, his boat is quite a bit cooler than my boat, and I might also add it is quite a bit faster too. I would like to note that if my vessel was working properly, it would be able to give his boat a small challenge, but at this rate, who knows if that'll ever happen. Rory also captains his boat a lot faster than anything I'm accustomed to, and his style is about as far from my style as it gets. Wave whomping, speed, and hard turns were on the menu, and this time of the year the lake gets destroyed by wakes, so he is well in his element while I am far from it. Like in most of my videos, we had to make a quick drive to say hello and pay our respects to the Tombstone and Wonder of the World Glen Canyon Dam. Of course, I should point out, I am no stranger to fast boats and rough water. Because of this, Rory insisted that I captain for a while. Speaking from experience, I can't really blame him for this, as I have a tendency to try to pawn off the helm to anyone capable of. Me and Rory are generally solo boaters, so I understand just how nice it can be to get a break from the helm, and I was happy to provide Rory with the opportunity for him to enjoy his boat. This time of the year, Lake Powell is particularly busy, and that being said, the main channel and Warm Creek were no exception. While I generally spend little to no time on the lake this time of year, it was a little bit of a surprise to see so many boats out this far to me, even though I know this is perfectly normal for Lake Powell. So it's not every day I get to make a video going into Warm Creek. This is pretty exciting for me. I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, as you can see, it's pretty opened up over here. Generally, I do not go into Warm Creek by boat. This is the first time I had entered Warm Creek on a boat, excluding my jet skis. The entrance to Warm Creek is littered with some very nasty navigation hazards, but since Lake Powell's come up so much, they were well below us. A very cool view here is the Sleeping Warrior, which is the rock formation you see off in the distance. A lot of people do not notice it from this angle or even recognize it is here. I'm not entirely sure last year if the Sleeping Warrior could be seen from Warm Creek's entrance, as Lake Powell was so low that the canyon walls would have obstructed that particular view. A stark contrast in just how much changed this year. As I captained the boat into Warm Creek, I went past the exit to the cut. I did this on purpose so you could get the perspective of just how small the Lake Powell to Warm Creek cut is. If it was not for Castle Rock on the right, this cut might be difficult to find. At this point, I would no longer be manning the helm and switching out with Rory. While I am able to and was filming while manning the helm, I need to focus more on videography duties. Running the cut is not for the faint of heart, especially since the water level is so low. I will admit I had the advantage, as the week before I captured this video I had the privilege to help pilot a large houseboat through this cut, but I also knew that at this point in time Lake Powell is already on the decline, so navigating the cut could mean disaster, as there was barely enough water to go through. Conventional knowledge would dictate to not attempt this, as the saying goes, brown brown, turn around, and suffice to say the cut gave us all the warning a mariner could ask for. Plants were sticking out of the water. In addition to that, large sections of the cut's walls have collapsed, causing large boulders to become dislodged and lay in wait to claim their props. Undeterred, we went into the cut full steam ahead, but ran into traffic, so we had to slow down. I want to make it clear for anyone wondering that the cut is not a no-wake zone, but surprisingly the traffic here was quite polite and considerate. We were no exception, having slowed down to accommodate vessels in front of us. But as the saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished. Then this happened. Oh, hit something there. How's it feel? Don't know. I think we're fine. You just had a skeg strike. Ultimately, the boat was fine, and we continued to make our way through the cut. I will admit it was a bit disappointing, as I was hoping the cut would stay open for a bit longer. Regardless, I had to remind myself to focus on the positive, and that is the fact that I was able to use the cut at all this year, as Lake Powell has not had the cut open in over 2 years. Obviously, at this point I would not recommend vessels go through the cut. I am able to report that the shallowest depth we measured was 1.5 feet under the boat, and since capturing this video I have confirmed that there was at least one other vessel that struck a rock the same day we did. Furthermore, several other captains have reported striking rocks in the cut in the time it took for me to edit and produce this video, which has only been a couple of days. Now that being said, we went back into the cut to capture more footage and took the risk. I did witness several other boats navigating through the cut successfully, including a small houseboat. Quick moment of your time. If you like this kind of content and want to help support me make more content like this, definitely check me out on an app called Patreon. There you can find extra exclusive subscriptions, things like that, and I do have content on Patreon as well. I appreciate your time and your consideration. Along the way, I captured some really interesting things like this dirt trail that used to cross the cut, as well as some of the rocks and collapsed walls. I will let you enjoy the scenery for a moment, unhindered by my words.
So I had to end my journey a little sooner than expected due to a microburst that was approaching. Granted, this did not stop me and Rory from having some fun in the storm for a quick second. However, retreat was always the goal, as these storms can be extremely bad. So until next time, this is Thor, signing out.